Your cat is lying across the room from you. They're not asleep. Their eyes are open, or half open, that slow, heavy lid that cats carry when they're somewhere between rest and waking. And at some point, without any obvious reason, they look at you, hold the gaze for a moment, and then their eyes close, slowly, deliberately, all the way, or almost all the way, and then open again at half-mast. Maybe you smiled. Maybe you looked away first because sustained eye contact with a cat feels oddly intense. Maybe you did it back without thinking, that instinctive mirroring that happens when someone offers you something and your body responds before your mind catches up. What just happened in that moment is not small. It is not incidental. It is one of the most direct, unambiguous things your cat will ever say to you, and most people receive it without understanding what they've been told. That slow blink is the gesture, and what it means goes deeper than most people realize. 1. It starts with what eye contact means in their world. To understand why the slow blink matters, you have to first understand what it's replacing. In cat social communication, direct sustained eye contact without breaking is a challenge, a threat. Two cats who don't know each other well, or who are in conflict, hold eye contact as a display of dominance or aggression. The stare is a confrontation. It means I am not afraid of you, and I am not looking away first. This is not abstract social convention. It is hardwired. A direct, unblinking stare from another animal activates your cat's threat assessment system at a level below conscious thought. It is one of the oldest signals in their behavioral repertoire, predating domestication by an enormous margin. Your cat lives with this wiring, inside a relationship that requires them to make sustained eye contact with a much larger animal every single day. You look at them constantly. You look at them when you talk to them, when you feed them, when you're just sitting in the same room existing together. From a purely instinctual standpoint, you are always on the edge of issuing a challenge. And the slow blink is how they resolve that. It is a deliberate, conscious override of the threat response. A signal that says, I am looking at you, and I am choosing not to read this as a threat. I am choosing, right now, to interpret your presence as safe. That choice, for an animal whose survival instincts run as deep as a cat's, is not nothing. 2. What the science actually found, and why it matters. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex ran a study specifically on the slow blink exchange between cats and humans. What they found was precise and worth knowing in detail. When owners slow blinked at their cats, the cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back. And when a stranger slow blinked at a cat, the cat was more likely to approach that stranger afterward than if the stranger had maintained a neutral expression. The slow blink didn't just reflect an existing feeling of safety, it created one. The gesture itself, received and returned, shifted how the cat felt about the person in front of them. This means two things. First, that the slow blink is a genuine communicative act that carries real social meaning your cat both sends and receives. Second, that you can initiate it. You can walk into a room where your cat is tense or uncertain and offer them a slow blink and measurably increase how safe they feel in that moment. You have access to the gesture, and using it correctly is one of the most direct things you can do to communicate something your cat will actually understand. And if this is something you want to try tonight with your own cat, hit like and subscribe before you do. It helps us reach more cat owners who want to communicate with their cat in a language that actually lands. 3. How to do it correctly, because the details matter. Most people, when they try to slow blink at their cat, do it wrong. Not badly wrong, but wrong enough that the signal doesn't land the way it should. Here's what the correct version looks like. You're not forcing your eyes closed. You're not doing an exaggerated, theatrical blink that your cat reads as strange movement rather than communication. You're letting your eyelids drop slowly, almost lazily, the way they fall when you're very relaxed and slightly sleepy. The speed is important. It needs to feel effortless, because effortlessness is part of the message. You're not performing safety, you're demonstrating it. Hold the closed or nearly closed position for a full breath. Then let your eyes open again, slowly, to a soft, half-lidded state rather than snapping back to full attention. Your face and body need to match. A slow blink delivered with a tense jaw and squared shoulders, sends a contradictory signal. The whole posture needs to be consistent with what the blink is saying. Relaxed, unhurried, not leaning forward, not staring intently between blinks. The distance matters too. Don't do this from 2 feet away from a cat you don't know well. The slow blink works best across a comfortable distance, enough space that your proximity isn't already activating their alert system before the gesture even lands. Wait after you do it. Don't follow the blink with an immediate approach or a reach toward them. Let the gesture exist on its own and let them respond in their own time. The response, when it comes, will tell you more than the gesture itself. 4. What their response tells you about where you actually stand. The slow blink back is the obvious response, and it's the one people look for, but the full picture is more nuanced than that. A cat who slow blinks back immediately, without hesitation, in a full mirror of what you offered, is a cat who is deeply settled in their relationship with you. The gesture is reflexive because the safety it represents is not something they have to think about. You are simply safe, categorically, and the blink is just the confirmation of something already established. A cat who slow blinks back after a pause is working through something. They received the gesture, they processed it, they chose to return it. That pause is not rejection, it's consideration. And the blink that comes after consideration means something slightly different than the reflexive one. It means they decided. That's still significant. A cat who looks away rather than blinking back is not necessarily being unfriendly. Looking away is also a de-escalation signal in cat communication. It means I'm not treating this as a threat. The absence of a returned blink doesn't mean the gesture wasn't received. A cat who slow blinks at you first, without prompting, without you having done it to them, is doing something that deserves to be recognized for what it is. They initiated. In a language that is entirely about safety and trust, they chose to open the exchange. They looked at you and decided to tell you something. That's the version that stops you in the middle of an ordinary day and makes you understand that the relationship running quietly alongside your life is more substantial than you knew. 5. Why it works at night differently than during the day. There's a specific version of this that many cat owners have experienced without ever naming it. Late at night, the house is quiet. You're reading or lying in bed or sitting in low light doing something slow and undemanding. Your cat is nearby. And in that particular quality of stillness, the slow blink exchanges happen more frequently, more deeply, and with a completeness that doesn't quite happen the same way in the busier parts of the day. This is not coincidence. The slow blink is a signal about the felt sense of safety in the present moment, and the felt sense of safety is higher at night, in a quiet house, in low light, with all the daytime stimulation removed. Your cat's nervous system is most settled in those conditions. The things that keep their alert system partially engaged during the day, sounds from outside, movement in the house, the unpredictability of an active environment, are gone. What remains is you and the room and the quiet. In that state, the slow blink isn't just a gesture, it's an accurate report of their internal condition. They're not telling you they feel safe to be polite. They're telling you because their whole system is, in that moment, the most relaxed version of itself. And you are part of what made that possible. The nighttime slow blink is your cat telling you that you are woven into their sense of peace, not just present in it, part of what creates it. 6. The gesture is ordinary. What it means is not. Here is what I want you to carry from this. The slow blink happens in the middle of regular days. It happens when nothing special is occurring, when neither of you is doing anything remarkable, when the moment is so unremarkable that it would be easy to look away before it completes and never know it happened. Your cat chose that moment. Not a moment of high drama or obvious emotion, a quiet moment, an ordinary one, to tell you something true. They looked at you and they let their eyes close. In a language built entirely around threat assessment and survival, in a nervous system that never fully stops monitoring for danger, they saw you and they chose to look away. Not because you stopped being visible to them, but because you stopped needing to be watched. That's what safety feels like from the inside of a cat's experience. Not the absence of you, the presence of you, specifically, as the thing that makes watching unnecessary. Every slow blink they've ever given you was the same sentence, said quietly, across whatever distance was between you at the time. You are not something I need to be afraid of. You are, in fact, the reason I'm not.